Hey guys, it's me, Juan Arcas, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'll tell you why Miami sucks. Honestly, let me tell you guys, I've never liked Miami, even though I was born and raised here, but I have the total right to tell you so much why I hate Miami so much because like I lived here my whole life and you can't really find like a better tour guide than someone like, for example, like me, that I grew up here my whole entire life. I've never left Miami in general. So today I will be talking to you, in my opinion, why Miami sucks. So the first one would have to be the rudeness. Oh my god, it's really disgusting how rude people are here. And sometimes I feel like that if you aren't rude back here, you don't make it anywhere in this city because like people here, like you walk into a store and they throw the door at you, or they're so rushed all the time and they're always like in an angry mood for no reason. It's like, you guys, you only have one life to live, and to just be around negativity. Like people here love negativity, and it's like, gosh, like, and it's just disgusting, like the rudeness of the city. Like it makes me want to throw up. It makes me like ashamed, like, oh, I'm from the rudest city in America. And it and it I actually saw in a bunch of like web pages or whatnot, Miami is the rudest city in America. Like there's nowhere worse in the rude level than Miami. It's like it's just impossible to find somewhere else that's ruder than Miami. So the second reason why I say Miami sucks is almost every highway, and this is not only a Miami thing. This is like a Florida and North, but it's like Florida in general, and and sometimes in the Northeast, but like here, when you here when you get on the highway, almost in every highway you get on, you have to pay a toll, like the Florida's Turnpike or the Dolphin Expressway. And and it gets really annoying. Like I but at the same time, I'm kind of biased when it comes to tolls, because I think tolls are really good because it helps our roads, and all that money goes with like the road improvement, like building express lanes. But at the same time, um I feel like tolls is really of a bad idea, because with tolls, we're getting to a point, like here in the city, that we're getting so many people, that we should invest more on the transportation of the future rather than the transportation of the past, because highways is the transportation of the past, because we are already living in the future of the highways. like uh like when ex-president Dwight Eisenhower made the interstate highway system, like that is the transportation of the past. I believe that with tolls, I'm kind of biased, because I feel like with that money, instead we should build more trains and a little bit more of like public transportation, a little bit more with public transportation. I'm glad that at least now we have Uber, and with Uber, like you can just order a cab, and then you're good to go. But even with Uber's a bit pricey. So with the second reason why Miami sucks, like I'm kind of biased about that whole topic about tolls. Like there's good, there's bad, but like at the same time it isn't even worth it, because I believe that we should invest more on the transportation of the future rather than the transportation of the past. So the third reason why I say Miami sucks is that here it feels like a small town. And what I mean by that is that like here, like once you start like living here or whatnot, you start to get to know people. And in my case, that I was able to live throughout my whole childhood and my teen years here, that like even when I would go to school or whatnot, I would feel famous because there would always be like you would always be meeting new people, and then you just stay there, and then they talk about you, and and then everybody knows something about somebody else, and it gets passed on because here people are bored with their lives. like like all they're good enough is just to gossip, gossip, and gossip, and it's really annoying. Like everybody knows something about somebody else. Like even though we don't all know each other, but like it's kind of like if we all knew each other, because there's always somebody that knew somebody else with this gossip, with that gossip. Like it's just annoying. It's like I even tell I even tell other people, it's like, guys, why do you care? Like seriously. And the fourth reason why I say that Miami sucks is the climate. Like here, like I don't mind it being hot, but the thing is, when it's the type of hot we have here, it's muggy, it's wet, and it's not like in and with that hot and muggy climate, it 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 attracts mosquitoes, and then it annoys you, and it's just annoying. Like I'd rather live in a desert, because at least in the desert, and this is I've been to places that have deserts, like in Texas, like at least you don't have like mosquitoes attracting towards you, or biting you and all that kind of stuff. So, and another thing is that here, like, it doesn't snow. So if you love the snow, then get out of here. Or not necessarily get out of here, like just don't get near around here. Like even in the state of Florida in general, like maybe like in the north part, like Tallahassee and like the Panhandle, it could snow, but like every once in a while. But it doesn't snow religiously like you would in New York or in Pennsylvania or in that part of the country, or even in the Midwest. And so I don't really like the climate here. The fifth reason why I say that Miami is trash is because the price point here is just ridiculous. Like an apartment in like a some class, and not some class, in like a somewhat poor but not dangerous neighborhood, in like an okay neighborhood, but like not in like a white suburban part of Miami, like in Little Havana, for example, it's like $1,500 a month, which is ridiculous. And the cheapest anything can get is maybe Hialeah or Sweetwater, which I call Sweetwater Little Nicaragua, because that's where like all the Nicaraguans are, and like all the and the area in all of Miami where you will find the most Nika restaurants and Nika markets and all that stuff. The cheapest I can get is like maybe $500, but that's in like in a small little room in a trailer. That's all you will get for like maybe like 500, $700 ish. And number six reason why I say that Miami sucks is because the in the tourism industry, like I feel like with things to do here, I feel like it isn't really that kid friendly. I feel like we're basically a boring, dry down, along the beach version of Las Vegas. Like like you go down Miami Beach, like it's just mainly bars. It like it isn't that really exciting. and like fun things to do, like for people of all ages. Like here in Miami, we don't have like a Santa Monica Pier. Like I've always dreamed, and I remember when I was little, I used to say like, oh, if I had money to vamp up the tourism industry here in Miami, it would be to bring like a concept like Santa Monica Pier, but in Miami, with like an amusement park or whatnot. And also I feel like here the tourism industry, like in Bayside, like places like Bayside, it's extremely outdated. Like the insides of like the restaurants or whatnot, it still looks like on how it was in some Miami Sound Machine music video from the 80s. Like the restaurants still look like how it looks like in some music video from Miami Sound Machine. And if you don't know what Miami Sound Machine was, it's a group that Gloria Estefan was before she became a solo artist. So that's my pet peeve, like with things to do and stuff like that. It's like So, and also the seventh thing is, here people drive terribly. Here people just don't know how to drive. Like when, like if you see a car that have my blinker on, or that has a blinker on, there's a good chance that that's me, because here nobody uses their blinker. Here, for some reason, people love to speed, and even though cops do catch people every once in a while when you're driving like 90 miles per hour on the expressway, and that's the thing here. Here sometimes we call the highway, but usually here in Miami and mainly throughout all of Florida, we call it the expressway, because the fact that not only you're going fast, but you're paying to get on it. Where it's not, we don't call it freeway like how people in California call it, or how people, basically everybody out west in Michigan and Georgia, they call it freeway. But here we call it expressway because usually you have to pay on almost every highway you get on. And then after a certain distance, it totals up how long your trip is gonna be. Like for example, if I'm gonna go from Miami to Delray Beach, that's a good $2, because it's like because how like the sun pass and the mile markers work here is that after like, I believe 15 miles, something like that, after every 15 miles you get charged 50 cents. But but if you buy the sun pass, it's a little bit less. And the sun pass is like a little device that you put in your car, that you put in your card information and whatnot, so you can pay the toll to get on the highway. So that's an example that if you use the sun pass, it's like $2, but if you don't have a sun pass, you're gonna end up paying like $3 or $4. And from Miami to Orlando, which is a 3.5 hour drive, also it's the same dealio, every 50 cents, but the trip is like $20, like $20 to get there and then $20 to come back. So terrible drivers. And the eighth thing would have to be, the food variety here is extremely poor. People say like, oh my god, Miami is so diverse. It ain't that diverse, sweetie. We may have Hispanics from all over Latin America, but even in the statistics, 53% of our population is just Cuban. And also, like, here we don't really have that much of a diversity. Like, here we aren't a Los Angeles and we aren't a New York, because in Los Angeles and New York there it actually is diversity. Like I've even heard there's a little Tokyo, a little Armenia, a little Italy, a Chinatown. Here we don't even have a Chinatown. Here the closest thing that you have to a Chinatown is North Miami Beach. And in North Miami Beach, you go down northeast 167th Street, it's just like markets and restaurants, but actually like fun things to do, or like a cute little Chinatown like I've seen in pictures in other cities, like in New York and in LA and in San Francisco, not at all. Like that's as close to Chinatown we have here in Miami. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like the food variety here is also pretty poor. Like we do have like Chinese places, and we do have like Hispanic food from all over Latin America. But what what angers me about here is, like, for example, my closest Chick-fil-A is like 6 miles away from me. But the thing is, I don't even like that Chick-fil-A because like that Chick-fil-A, it always gets so packed, and there isn't like a single time of the day that I go to that I pass by that Chick-fil-A that isn't packed. That's how come I'd rather drive to Pembroke Pines or to Fort Lauderdale, which is like 45 minutes away from me, and there's barely anyone. And what I like, at least around there in the Broward County area, is that there's like a Chick-fil-A in almost every street corner, and here like it's just so poor. And there are good places, but like I hate how like everything is so far out. And here, like we don't even have an In-N-Out. Here we don't even have a Whataburger. We don't. And my closest Sonic is also far. Like it's just so poor. It's just so poor. And Pollo Tropical, you guys might hate me, but I don't really like Pollo Tropical that much. And like the chicken, I don't know, it doesn't even taste like that cooked or whatnot. A popular place we have, it's good, but like I still have my complaints, is Fuddruckers. Like Fuddruckers is yummy, but the problem about Fuddruckers is that the bread, like the buns, they're so huge. Like I'm like, girl, chill out. It's just a bun. It's like I rather have a little bit more meat. If you give me a little bit more meat rather than a little bit more bun. Like seriously. So my next my ninth one, I think. My ninth reason why I don't like Miami at all is the public transportation. It sucks here. Here, like, the bus doesn't even give a crap about you. Like, the bus passes by whenever it feels like it. And the bus here, like, it passes like once every hour, or sometimes even 4 hours if the bus gets delayed, or there's something that happened with the bus. And that the bus doesn't really go that inwards in part of the city, because like the bus, it somewhat works by around FIU. Once you go west of FIU, forget it. Like it passes by when it feels like it. The good thing is that they've been installing the trolleys, which are like the cute little looking buses, and they're free. But the thing is, around the areas where I live, and then towards south, like they don't even have that. Like if you don't even have a car whatsoever, it's over with you. Like like the good things that if you're like in the Little Havana area, but like I don't really like the Little Havana area because it's a little like, I don't know, like the vibe of it is just not a vibe I'm into. Is that at least you can walk and walk everywhere, but like isn't like an area that I like at all. So the 10th reason why I don't like Miami at all is that I feel like here, it's really sad to say this, but like I feel like here no one cares about anything at all. People here, I feel like people here don't even have feelings, because like I think it's sad when I've gone to like to do any kind of service. For some reason, it's sad to see when there's workers that's like, I don't know, or this or that. Like it's like if they don't want to use their brain, it's like, use it, it's free. Like, and like whether it's in the school services or in the DMV, like here, like there's a good chance that like no one really cares about you. Like they just treat you like utter garbage. And my last reason, and probably this is the one that pisses me off the most, is how people here love shoving Spanish in front of your face. Whether you know the language or not, they're gonna shove it right in front of your face. Like, and I'm like, sweetie, even though the United States doesn't have an official language, but this country runs in English. and and I'm surprised that you're able to survive here. If your water bill, you get it in English. The light bill, it's always in English. Like the cell phone bill, like it says, it's like, oh, your monthly payments, that's all in English. If you find like maybe some weird service in Spanish, I don't know, like maybe, but like it's like people need to understand that everything in this country is function in English. I get it. We don't have an official language, but everything is run in English. All the paperwork, everything is in English. And it's disgusting when people have the audacity, like, and this has happened to me. Look, I know perfect Spanish, like this is never a problem to me, but I just can't imagine someone who doesn't know Spanish and they have to go through the hustle of trying to learn it. And then I even told him, it's like, you don't need to learn it. It's like this, you're in your motherland, like they're the ones that need to learn English. And and a perfect example is that one time I saw on the news of this viral video of this lady at a Taco Bell in Hialeah, and how she was telling this poor African American customer, go to the Taco Bell on 29th Avenue. And just because the Taco Bell worker didn't want to speak to the customer in English, and she was ordering her food in English, and then she shut out on her, and it was obvious that she understood her. And and she was saying like, oh, I just didn't understand at all, like, oh, here nobody speaks English. And I'm like thinking, it's like, excuse me, it's like, why do you even have a job in the United States anyway if you don't even speak a word of English? Like, hello. So so stuff like this agitate me. Like, oh wait, I want a little bit off topic. So I remember like times that I've gone to a veterinary office or whatnot, and I don't know how people have the audacity that the first language that they start speaking to me is in Spanish. It's like, sweetie, we're not in Colombia, we're not in Cuba, we're not in Nicaragua, we're not in Mexico, we're not in Spain. This is the United States. If they want services in Spanish, then you can start speaking Spanish afterwards. But in this country, like everything is run in English, because like I wouldn't like it, you guys, if I'm, for example, if I'm in Los Angeles and I'm in a vet office, and if some Japanese woman comes up to me and starts speaking to me in Japanese, I wouldn't like that, because I would immediately cut her off, like, ma'am, I don't speak Japanese, I don't understand Japanese. Hello, speak to me in English. And from the beginning, like, I feel like when you work in any type of service or any type of service with someone, and you're in this country, it should always be in English. Always. I might like people think that I hate how people here, they come to this country and they're like, um I'm from here and you have to speak my language. It's like, no, sweetie, the world does not revolve around you. You have to revolve with the world that's around you, and the world can't revolve around you. Hello. It's like, who are you, a dictator or something? It's like, this isn't a dictatorship. You don't come here and run this country like if it's yours. Like, so those are all my reasons on why I believe that Miami sucks. I hope you like it, and I hope you like, comment, and subscribe, and see you to the next video. Bye bye.